Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of Shine, a show created to inspire you to own your spotlight. I'm your host, Dorothy-Inez, and confidence coach to women in network marketing. Today, I am excited to bring you Miss Kierra Jones. You might have tuned in to my show a couple of weeks ago, and Kierra was the guest hostess with the mostest, and she interviewed yours truly. And so today we are going to be talking about monetizing your shine. So I want to invite you to invite a friend, share this out, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and stay tuned. So I'm back. So, like I said, I'm so excited to introduce to you visibility and sales mindset coach, Miss Kierra Jones. She's coming to you all the way from New York. So let me tell you a little bit about her. Kierra Jones is an international visibility and sales mindset coach, brand messaging and monetizing consultant, speaker, and Amazon best-selling author. She helps women with personal brands and service-based businesses expand their visibility and sales mindset to ignite deeper self-expression, activate their next level power message, and elevate how they package and position their genius so they can amplify their brand value and monetize their shine more powerfully, purposefully, and profitably. I wish I had like some kind of sound effects so that we could give her a hand. So since we can't give her a hand, give her some hearts, Miss Kierra Jones.
Hi.
Hey, Kierra, welcome.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I every time I say your name, I always want to go, Kierra. You're like a little sister, but you are amazing. You are an expert at what you do, which is why I have you on today. I'm so excited for the women to hear from you because this is like monetize your shine. You and I, ever since we've known each other, we've been all about helping women to shine. So you're the perfect guest for today. And so since we only have 30 minutes, and I know you and I like to talk. So I'm just going to dive right in, Kierra, to my questions. And so briefly tell the audience tuning in a little bit about Kierra and where she was before she decided, you know what, I'm going to take the entrepreneurial leap.
Oh, goodness. Yes. So, just background for me, I started out, I went to college for hospitality and tourism management. I love hotels. I love the energy of them. I love the feel of them. And so I was like, I want to work in hotels and I want to own hotels. And I focused there for a couple years. And in that journey, I worked with, Marriott. I worked with a company called Club Core, which is like the Marriott version of country clubs. And, did a couple of different things within that industry. And then I met a recruiter for General Mills because, they were like, hey, like you're like on the hotel side, but like we sell our products to hotels. So like you could come work for us. And I was introduced to sales within the industry, and I loved it.
Mhm.
I love being within sales, being in not in the day-to-day operations, but being in more of the corporate side of the industry.
Uh-huh.
And I started with them straight out of college. I was an intern, and I just never looked back. I stayed with them. I would move every like 13 to 19 months, and I loved my job. I was the annoying friend who actually really loved their job. And at the end of the day, at happy hour, I was
Mhm.
like talking about my job and like my clients, and my friends are like, okay, Kierra, like it's okay. So I was super passionate. I love working with my clients. I would have anywhere from about 40 clients to about 300, representing about up to like $5 million of business. So I really, really enjoyed my job. And so I did a couple of moves throughout the country with them. And my last move was in New York before I left, and that was in 2014. And I took a demotion to get to New York because I wanted to be near my family in New Jersey, and I
Mhm.
was living in Minnesota at the time. And I was
Yeah,
like,
in my
listen,
city.
I know, I was like, listen, I'm ready to get back to the East Coast. And so I took a demotion, or more of a lateral move to get
Mhm.
here, even though I should have taken a promotion just so that I could physically get here. And when I got here, I mean, we also went through a reorganization, and we lost a lot of African American talent, specifically people that I had personally been mentored by. And one was a
Mhm.
woman, and there was only one woman, Black director in my division, and it just didn't sit well with me. Like I loved my work. I loved what I did. I was super passionate. I was all for the company, and for it felt like, wow, we're so disposable. It was kind of like a face of reality.
Right.
And so that had happened. And on top of
Mhm.
that, when I took this transition, because I had experience already, I came in, and I just moved really fast. Like, our top customer sent a letter up the chain to my manager, to his manager, about how I was an amazing consultant. I was the best consultant. I'm the only Black woman on my team. I'm the only woman on my team, and I'm the youngest. And to hear that,
Wow.
that meant a lot. And I also had another win with one of my larger clients. And so, I went to my management team and I said, hey, like, this is what I'm doing. I'm not a millennial saying like, this is what I'm doing because I expect it, but this is actually on paper what has happened. And I
Right.
was told by HR, oh, you already took this position, so like you need to wait for 12 months. And there was this like something in that conversation shifted things for me, because it was like,
Mhm.
oh, so even though I'm great, even though I'm doing a great job, even though I've been here 2 or 3 months and I'm killing it, I still have to wait for this 12 months. There's no exception. And it didn't sit well with me. It didn't sit well that I didn't have that control over my career, even though I was putting in the work and going above and beyond. And, it's interesting because I later found out about a white
Mhm.
colleague, a male, who
Mhm.
didn't have to go stipulations later on, but I
Yeah.
didn't know that at the time. So, everything happens how it's supposed to. So this happened like 2014. We went through a reorg. 2015, I was just like, I'm going to start. At the time, I really love jewelry and I really like steak and sushi. So I was like, I'm not leaving my job, but what can I do while I still work and get my job done? And I was introduced to the online space. I started a product-based business, which was the K. Jones collection, jewelry. And within a year, I added in coaching, just because I would be working with my style clients, and they'd like, here, like, I did that sales thing you told me to do, it worked. Or like, I did this thing you told me to do, like with the videos, and it worked.
Mhm.
And it was like, Kierra, you should like literally just go into coaching, because like you're really good at it. And so I did it, and I handled both for about a year. In like 2016, I went full time
So
in
slow
my
down.
coaching.
Slow down.
Yeah.
'Cause you go you
Yeah. I'm just trying to give it all.
because I'm like, she already dove into question number two.
Oh man, I don't even know what
So,
question number two is.
yeah, so I just want to back up, because you've said a lot in that little nugget, and some of it's really relevant today to women, where you talked about um, where you talked about having a white male,
Mm,
that person was, making more than you, and that being, a trigger that that led you to going down this path and start looking for ways to create income. I remember when I first met you, were you selling jewelry?
yep, the K. Jones
Was
collection. Yeah.
that a part of that? Was because I didn't know if it was that what you had mentioned in your dialogue there. That was
Yeah.
the first step into entrepreneurship.
Yep.
And so why jewelry, Kierra?
Yeah. And just to clarify with the white male, so at the time I had no knowledge of that.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was I later found out that it wasn't that he was making more, and he was, but that wasn't it. It was actually that, he had a wife and he did not have to relocate as much as I had to. He was able to stay in the same location and do like 2 to 3 rotations. Whereas every time I wanted to do a rotation, I had to physically leave. And that is a lifestyle change. And so it was like, it was more hoops for me to jump through it was what I was expressing. But I didn't know that at the time. The reason I went into just trying to figure something out was the moment of like, hey, you need to wait 12 months. And it was like, oh, I'm doing great, but I need to wait until I can talk about a promotion. This doesn't feel right.
Yeah, that
And
doesn't make
so,
any sense.
yeah,
Because you're making an impact, and so many women go through this, and like for you, it's
mhm.
a catalyst to move into this. So tell us why jewelry.
Yeah. So I remember just being in a space of like, kind of what I mentioned. I like steak and sushi. And I was like, all right, I'm not leaving my job, but what can I do while I still work? And that's when I
Mhm.
was introduced to the online space. And it was like, okay, I could work my job, but I could like build this other thing where I can like schedule stuff, and like I don't have to physically be there. And jewelry just came in because at first, and I don't really talk about this a lot, not for any reason, but I actually started, I realized like, okay, what do I really love? Right. And I actually remember asking like my cousins and stuff. And, everyone was like, here, you love accessories, you love jewelry. And I was like, yeah, I do. And so I actually reached out to folks on LinkedIn that I had connected with who
Uh-huh.
literally did my same job for General Mills. So instead of selling food products and having like 40 or 30, 40 to 300 clients where I'm going in with them and I'm working with them from a like sales standpoint on our products, I would do the same exact role, but it would be with jewelry. And so I had connected with people that were the same sales manager for like Macy's or, just Nordstrom, but for different jewelry companies, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. And
Mhm.
I actually was told like, here, we don't understand why you want to go from food to jewelry. And in my mind, I didn't get it because I was like, it's the same skill. It is the same
Right. The
exact
same
job. It's
skill.
just a different item.
Right.
And so that's what they told me. And I guess that's that rebel again. I was like, this doesn't make sense. I'm doing the same thing. That's stupid to me. I could sell anything. And I was like, I'm going to start my own jewelry company. So that was why it was jewelry. And I wasn't interested in like joining jewelry companies and all that. I wanted it to be my own. I think I wanted like control at that time because I was in
Mhm.
spaces where I didn't have that. And I
Mhm.
wanted to have full creative power to pick the pieces and sell what I want to sell and charge what I want to charge and I wanted all the money to myself and all the things. So that was
Right.
how it came to jewelry.
Right, right. And then the whole situation with the job is what led you into this. Would that be accurate?
It's what led me into just the question. I
Mhm.
remember coming home, I literally remember the mirror in my old apartment. I remember mascara running down, like I was crying. And I remember looking in the mirror and I remember saying, like, who are you? Because I'm a girl who was raised by a single mother. I had 4 jobs at one time in college. I was still on the dean's list while I had those 4 jobs. Like I
Mhm.
was a go-getter. And so for me to be in a space where somehow I felt comfortable that like, oh, my job is going to protect me and like I'm always going to be here. And I had the first moment of like, they're not going to protect you. They have their best interest, and that's okay, that's business, but I didn't like that. And so
Right.
that's what led me to the question of what is next. I didn't know. I had no idea it was jewelry, but I
Mhm.
just knew I needed to move forward and figure it out
Mhm.
because of a deeper calling. And I didn't really know what it was at that time. But that's when I then started asking my cousins, like, hey, what do I do good? What do I do that's
Mhm.
really good? That's well, what I do well, and started that process.
Got it. Got it. So, why are you passionate about helping women to monetize their shine? I remember when you started this,
Yeah.
and this is a real, you used to have a saying, um, something about pennies.
I knew stop giving your expertise away for pennies.
Yes.
Yes. And I still do.
From pennies
Uh
to profit.
yeah, that was the talk I used to do. Yeah. Oh God. So one thing I want to say about shine, right? So people use your show is named Shine. People use shine in different ways. For me, shine really represents your natural brilliance. It's what you're really, really amazing. It's interesting because I had a client call yesterday about this, and I was sharing this with a friend this morning too. For some reason, like so my client and my friend, they're both talking about I do this thing really well. It kind of flows. It's so easy. I just kind of get on and do it. And then like my
Mhm.
clients just get results from it. And we have been taught, especially as women, that that's too easy. So of course you
Mhm.
shouldn't sell that. Money is supposed to be made hard. You
Right.
should be doing this, and this to make money instead of like, oh, I just get up and I just talk, and like people at the end of the day come to me after the talk and want to pay me and work with me.
Mhm.
Yes, they do. And so that's where the concept of shine really came from, and what it means for me is that you're taking your natural brilliance and your expertise, your knowledge, your skill sets, your gifts, and you are then monetizing it, right? And so a lot of my clients have already gotten started in some way, but there's this permission that we don't give ourselves because of
Right.
so many reasons not to truly make the money we want to make from it, or like, oh, well, let me give them a discount, or like, let me like give this nugget for free. And it's like, well, how many times did you give that away for free? How much could you have made? Or like, how
Right.
many times did you undercharge for that? And so that's the concept of monetize your shine. And why I'm so passionate about it is because our expertises and our geniuses are needed. Like they are
Mhm.
needed, they're required, they're demanded in this world more now than ever before. And so I see so many women who are freaking amazing and incredible who don't sell themselves, every day, or whatever every day means to you. Maybe it's every other day, maybe it's whatever, right? I see women who are like, oh, I didn't hit my money goal. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, how long have you been selling this thing? Like, well, I kind of posted once. And like, I kind of like put out for a call
Yeah,
once.
I've been guilty. I've been guilty of that as well. Posting something once or twice, and you assume
Yeah,
that,
and then
oh,
you're
no,
done.
that's what
Like,
what I have,
it's
and
like you wasn't even selling
yeah,
it.
yeah, it can be a demotivator. So this idea of, and women are so guilty of this, diminishing their value and their worth. They do it before anybody else will have the opportunity to do it. So I love that your work is all about really helping women to own their value, own their gifts, skills and talents, and charge a premium price for it. You know.
Yeah. One thing I will say, and only because you said premiums, and we became friends when I first started the industry. I've been full time 5 years. I always focus on high ticket with my clients, and I still do, right? So if high ticket is anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 plus, right? 4 or 5 figure programs and services. And it's interesting because my business model has actually changed over the past couple of years. And I'm more of a like, I don't care if it's high ticket or low ticket, right? There's this fight about which one should I have.
Mm-hmm.
Just charge the price that feels really amazing for you and that represents the value of what you want to provide and the level of access that you want to give to your clients. And that's it, right? So I feel like sometimes in our industry we fight between premium, high ticket, low ticket. It's like
Mm-hmm.
they all work. And I used to be in this space where I would force, like, I need to have high ticket and I need to keep charging more and I need to keep doing this. And I
Right.
got into the space of like, you know what? Like, I really enjoyed charging this much. And it's not that I devalue anything. It's not for any reason other than like, this is how I want to work with you. I want to work with you at this level of access for this price. I no longer want to work with women at this level of access or at this, $20,000, $30,000 rate or whatever it is. So only because you said premium, I had to clarify, because a lot of people know me for high ticket. I actually remember having clients like, I know that you do high ticket. I want to do high ticket. I'm like, listen, if you want to do high ticket, that's great. But like, come to me because you literally know that you're not, whatever level it is, you just aren't monetizing and messaging your brilliance at the level that truly captures who you want to truly
Right.
call into it.
So a lot of my followers are in network marketing, Kierra,
Mm-hmm.
and they struggle. They
Yeah.
struggle with sharing, number one, that they're with a network marketing company. And
Mm-hmm.
number two, the constant, well, I don't want to be salesy, but I think a big part of the root of that is, first of all, that they have a product that's from a network marketing company, and there's this stigma.
Yep.
What would you say to the woman who has a product that obviously she believes in because she signed up for it, but she's struggling selling because it's literally the mindset around, I don't want to bother people.
Yep.
I want people, I don't want to feel sleazy. What would you say to the woman who's struggling with her sales? And it's some of this mindset
Yeah.
stuff.
It's interesting. What came up for me when you just said that was she believes in her product.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would actually start there. And I would say that whatever you sell, it has to be something you believe in. And this may be a part of the stigma, but I think that some people believe that, a lot of people who do network marketing, they kind of go from like, well, first you were selling this, and now you're selling this, and then you're selling this, and then you're selling this. And so unfortunately, sometimes it's like you can't build that expert status because you keep jumping from thing to thing. So what I would say first is tap into your belief on the product. Because if you are not selling your dang on self for the product, you cannot sell nobody else. So you need to really sit with that product. Why are you selling that product? What does that product do for you, for your customers, for your family, for your friends? Really connect with the product as if it was your own. And that was the connection I had with my jewelry, was like, there is a personal, I was a plus size girl my whole life. There was a reason I sold jewelry. I love the way that you could take, I may not like have the outfits now, plus size is great, but like, growing up, it was like, man, you get a t-shirt and some jeans. It's like, okay, how do I dress this up? I need some bomb earrings or something like that. So there's a story behind it. So I would say tap into your belief in your story around why you are selling that product. You need that. And number two, I would say build your own brand around that, right? So make sure that you are getting known for, hey, this person is the person to go to for this thing. And don't even make it about the name, like it's this brand or that brand, or this company or that company. It's, this is such and such, and she's the person to go to if you need this type of thing. And really get known for that. And so a part of that, I would say, is create content. I love content. I'm content queen. Like, create content, videos, written content, whatever it is, YouTube, blogging. Create content.
I have to laugh when you say create content, because I remember back in the day, you and I would be talking, and you would just interject, Dorothy-Inez, that's content. That's content right there. Or you would be like, you'd be talking, it was just like you would be giving me content, or I'd say something that would, I need to do a video on that.
Listen,
this is one of the things about you, and I think women can learn from this, how you do that, is that you're always listening. You're always listening. And that's where so many of us fail, I think, is that we always want to, this is what I got, this is what I got, versus how does what I have fulfill a need? How does it serve you, rather? And so I think that's where that salesy piece comes in, because you're not listening. You're just throwing stuff out there.
Yeah. And it's funny, because if you don't listen, you don't know why your product is helping that person. So when you're starting a sales conversation, I was telling somebody this earlier who had an intensive with me. When you start the sales conversation, ask questions. I think sometimes we get like, people will reach out like, hey, how much is this? Like, I know you sell this, and what is it? And they want to know things, but it's okay to slow them down. Hey, I'm super excited you reached out. I'm so excited to help you with this. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? And it's funny, because I actually got I sent out an email yesterday, and I got an email, a Facebook message from someone, and they're like, hey, I got your email. How much does your thing cost? And I was like, hey, I'm so excited that you got this. If it's okay with you, I actually want to ask you a question or two. And I said, hey, by the way, you should be okay. Hopefully you're okay with that, because I wouldn't want someone telling me just the price of something and trying to sell me something, and they don't even know anything about me. So I hope that that's okay with you. So just insert that there. Hey, I'm happy to help you and get you all the information that you need. Is it okay that I ask you a question or two? So ask them, why do they need this? Why are they interested? What do they like? Ask them some stuff, so that when you then sell, you're inviting them into a product that you think will help them. One, if it's not going to help them, you're not going to sell it, right? Number two, if it is going to help them, then you're going to explain to them, hey, based off what you share with me, here's why I think this is helpful for you. And it helps you with objections in the end, because now you know why they're using it. So hopefully that is some things to help from a sales perspective. But definitely, I think it goes back to the belief part. That's the foundation of it.
Yeah, and I love how you're just reiterating what we hear all the time. Sales is serving, and you just demonstrated that when you just come from. I mean, because sometimes what you have, if you listen, sometimes it isn't for that person, and people appreciate your honesty versus just trying to sell something because you think everybody needs it. So, Kierra, you also talked about personal brand. And this is something that I teach, you about not being the product that you're selling. If did I hear you
Yep.
say that, so that if you do jump around, you do have things, you're still known for this
Yeah.
one thing that you bring. Talk about that just a little bit for them listening.
Yeah, I mean, the immediate thing that comes to me is if you sell products that have to do with beauty, right? Okay, I will know, wow, Dorothy-Inez is the person to go to for things beauty. Whether it's makeup, I mean, it could be, we could go on about there's so, how many companies are there that's in beauty? But I know you for beauty. So when I need something that has to do with my hair, hair or makeup or my skincare or something like that, guess what? I know who to go to. But when it's like brands or like categories that don't fit, like
Mhm.
Tupperware to beauty to this to that, that's when it gets a little like it's hard to build the brand. So if you need to shift a company because your values change and you just align more, etc., that's your business. But let it be aligned to who you are. So what I would say
Right.
is get known for like, hey, you come to me for maybe it's health and beauty. So whether I'm selling a health product or a beauty product, it's still under my wheelhouse of what you have known me to be. I'm just changing the item. But
Right.
people, again, that's why I don't let it be known, like don't force that I sell this brand. I
Right.
sell this service, helping you improve your beauty, helping you feel more confident in your health, or whatever the category is. Get known for that instead of the actual brand. Of course, people are going to know the brand that you're with, but then if you make a shift, it's not like ooh, they shifted
Yeah.
from this to
Yeah.
this.
I like
Yeah.
that thing where you're like, you went from beauty to Tupperware. That
Yeah.
like
Like,
things don't align, but being aligned with how you serve women. I have a couple of things that I do, but they all align
yeah,
that lead women to this place of beauty and confidence.
100%.
So great, great, really great feedback, Kierra. For our viewers watching today, I know they love you. Make sure you're dropping some hearts and comments down, letting Kierra know how much you've enjoyed her today. How can they stay in touch with you, Kierra?
Yes. So to stay in touch with me, you can go to kierrajones.com/free. And when you get there, you'll see a couple different options for you. Just read through them. We have a masterclass for folks who are like brand new as a coach or consultant or a speaker, and you're trying to figure out like, what do I do and like how to start signing clients. And then we have another masterclass for people that are already doing this. I don't care if you have 5 clients, 500, or it's somewhere in between. If you've already started and you have something selling, we have something for you on how to grow that. So kierrajones.com/free to grab some free resources there.
Okay, so Kierra, when we get off, drop that in the comments, so that way, or
Yeah.
you can right now, drop that in the comments. So thank you so much, Kierra, for being here. Thank you, everyone who tuned in live today. Next month, actually, Kierra, maybe you'll tune in and join us too. Next month is all about spirituality. I was like, Easter and Ramadan is coming. And so all of my guests next month are going to be talking with me about, I think it's probably my most favorite subject is spirituality. And so join us next week where I'm going to have Clemence Lafrades. She is a sound healer. And I'm looking forward to talking to her about the power of sound, because even as entrepreneurs, we have to have life balance in order to maintain our energy. We can't just be work, 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 work all the time. And music, the power of sound and vibration, will help us with that. So tune in next week. Today's show was time was a little bit different, but next week, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Join me right here live. I look forward to seeing you. And again, Kierra, thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.